been away for a while. Danielle and I have been traveling, and I think I'm going to talk about why we've been traveling. I've sort of kept that from the family, from this channel, but I think I've thought about it, and I've actually been, Danielle asked me, what do your guides say? And my guides are telling me that I should be telling you what we're interested in and what we're doing. So much is happening. I believe we're in the final stages of the awakening for those of us who have chosen this pathway. My coffee's here. Thank you so much. Got it. Cool. L'chaim, l'chaim. Spiritualbeingcoffee.com. Excellent, excellent coffee. Skywalker is a personal favorite. I have a lot of things I like. I sometimes like the freight train, a dark roast, but there are other times Wyatt Earp really hits my fancy. It's great coffee, and if you're in Prescott, Arizona, you should go visit Brian at his shop, Brian and Corinne. She makes great pastries and stuff, and all kinds of cool stuff. Also, Brian and I escaped the Matrix at the same time. Hi, Andrew. Andrew Smith. Good to see you. Good to see your name. Names are holy. This is something that people. I mean, this is something I learned from mystic Yiddishkeit. If somebody is in a, let's say, in a coma, God forbid, the way to revive them is to whisper their name. People respond to their names. When you go out, welcome back. Yeah, thanks, Peppermint Patty. Yeah, we're away, and I'm Peppermint. I'm going to explain why we went away, because I think it's time that everyone understood, and I think it's good for the community. Okay, so yeah, I'm talking about. Um, I can't remember. Okay, it couldn't be that important. I'm sure I'll loop back to it. Yeah, because yeah, I wanted to weird times, my friend. Yeah, but I don't think they're weird times. I think they're beautiful times, and this is I mean weird in the sense that yes, it's it we're never going back to where we're never going back to the way things were. It's never going to happen. We're going into a new world. It is weird, but it's wonderful weird. This is the great awakening. This is the greatest event that ever took place on the planet. Uh yeah. So and okay, so um there's so many things. There are a lot of things. So yeah, we've been away for a while. We've been away. I didn't broadcast. I don't think I did a broadcast last Wednesday. No way I could have. Wednesday, Thursday. We usually do broadcasts at the end of the week, and then Saturday night we were also still traveling. So we came back. I'm absolutely exhausted. Glad you're here. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too. NYS Shepherd Girl. Yeah. Um, by the way, calling those shepherd girls, man, we are building a community up here. If you're like on a 5D ascension kind of level and you happen to be a beautiful woman who's looking for a very wonderful person and you love to cook and you love to work and you love to just enjoy living inside of nature, completely outside of the matrix. We revisit the matrix. We go to town a lot. Weird in a good way. Yeah, I think so. No, I absolutely think so. I think it's weird in a great way. Yeah, no, but I totally understand where you're coming from. Um, um, Ed, Eddie Villa, because it turns out that this is the way that that we all communicate with each other. Like if you like me, I hate big, like to go to a big party to me is so painful. Usually I find I have a good time, but the idea of going there, why? Because because there's so many people and it's so chaotic, and I'm an empath and probably and a starseed. We're getting more evolved here on the channel, so there's things that I can say right now that I wouldn't say a few days ago. But I've been looking a lot of posts. I know I'm skipping around. Thank you, John Clooney. John Clooney, yeah, John Clooney fan. Cool, man. Um, th- uh, it could be our my sister Jenna. I don't know, but okay. So I'm all over the place. Sorry. This is the Great Awakening. Okay, is it weird? Yes, absolutely weird. We've never been here before. I mean, that's true of everything. We've never been here before. Never. We can't even imagine. But the things like, okay, so I'm watching a lot of things on my particular algorithm, they call it, on my X stream. And by the way, there are a lot of trolls out there saying Trump is an idiot and he doesn't know what he's doing and all this other bullshit. Block those people. Don't even have them in your thought stream. You don't even want that thought in your head. I'm like, you're a creepazoid from the Matrix. You're a one world, let's shoot them all up and kill them right now kind of person. I don't have anything to do with those kinds of thoughts. So if you're like me, then all of a sudden I'm getting all these posts from the other side. Just block them. Just go to, because your extreme must be in alignment with your thinking. So, oh, Trump's an idiot. Yeah, you know what? You're an idiot. So fuck you and get lost and get off my channel forever. So I just block them. But they come back. This is the deep state, and they think these are AI. These are people. These are heavy duty. More well, they're they're hybrids. The people behind them are hybrids. So they don't understand the complexity of humanity. They think in like very like kind of polar ways, like it's good or bad. Trump is bad. Trump. But we don't have anything to do with these people. We just block them. These trolls. Yeah, I know I'm all over the place. So okay. So but what I was saying to Eddie is that yes. So I would go to these parties, and the way you can instantly relate to anyone to say, doesn't isn't it horrible out there? Aren't there bad things? And that person will say, yes, I totally agree with you. But my approach has been in the last like decade is just go up to somebody and say, wow, you look so nice. Who are you? I mean, this is how I saved my career once at a big wedding. I went to a big wedding and I saw a guy sitting by himself, and I went and I started talking to him, and he says, we're looking for math teachers. And this was when they first put me in the rubber room. I was like, he was like, yeah, except go. And I went home during the wedding, got my resume, and I got hired. It saved my career. That was 20 years. Again, 20 years I put up with these nudniks. But this is how humans, and this is how we have been because of the Matrix, because of these negative hybrids, these reptilian, um, Nephilim, fallen giants, these idiots that have intermarried and interbred with us, and used our DNA and tried to control our world. We've gotten to this thing where it's like, yeah, man, doesn't it really suck? You say something to say, and you say, yeah, I know what you mean, and then you're instantly bonded. I say, do it the opposite. Go up to somebody and say, wow, you look great. What are you doing? I mean, and why not relate to people in a positive way, right? But what Eddie was doing is like, isn't it weird? That is totally a high level of way, because you're making yourself vulnerable, and you're saying like, can we be friends? And the answer is yes. And and it's okay. And I'm sorry that I'm using you as an example, but this is the old way of relating. My way now is like, wow, because I don't want to hang out with somebody who's having a bad day. If you're having a bad day, go have a bad day with somebody else. I'm enough of an empath that I will sit and suffer with anyone forever. And that's why I always get tangled up in these narcissistics. It's like, just, you know what? You're a narcissistic. I can tell right away your energy is that. Goodbye. See you later. Have a nice life. Go bother somebody else. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Eddie, I'm using you because I came to a realization yesterday that I think is absolutely stunning. Okay, this is it. We were traveling, and Daniela, she controls the music that we hear in the truck. I mean, we did a 3 day trip, and I'm going to go into what it was all about. It was like a 3 day trip. I ended up at an airport at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and then I had to drive 2 hours to the Airbnb on country roads, which my eyesight isn't so good anyway, and it's just like to drive on in the middle of nowhere 2 hours. It was scary, and then we had like a day to get ready, and we did some stuff, and we had to, I'm going to go through everything we went through, but then we came back and we flew forever, and we had to take, because we don't have a lot of money, we have to take like 2 flights, and we had to fly into an airport that was far away from where we were going, and so we were driving and driving and driving and driving, and yesterday I drove forever from Vegas. It seemed like forever, even though it's only like an hour and a half or 2 hours maybe. But so Danielle was controlling the music, and Danielle and I are just, how do I explain? It would be impossible to explain my relationship with Danielle in matrix terms, because it doesn't make sense in matrix terms, and that's okay for me, with me. I'm okay with it. So, but she eventually played a song that I haven't heard in years, The Gambler. And there was a line in The Gambler that I never really paid attention before, but it is so smart, and it blows away. I could sit here and explain the Chassidus, the how the spheros relate, and how God blesses you with negative experiences, with gevura, with strength, with with things that really challenge your whole way, as opposed to chesed, the way of kindness. You could just win the lottery, or you could go through this dreadful experience, but the dreadful experience is actually a greater gift. It has moral light. There's more light in the darkness. I could go through this whole explanation, but Kenny Rogers, or whoever wrote his song, I don't know if he wrote the song, it explains it in such a better way in the song, and that's the beauty of art. Through art, you can understand things that are incomprehensible. I mean, I studied Kabbalah for decades. For decades, man, I understand the spheros, and the meaning, and the light, and there's more light in the darkness. But that's all just like that's an understanding, and that's a deep way to get to what he says. I'll bet it's pretty out there at night. It's gorgeous out here, and we are in personal contact with an orb. We have our own personal orb, and I didn't realize it for 2 years. Algorithm or Algorand, yeah. I used to own more Algorand, now I own less, whatever. But the stars here, you can see the Milky Way, but we have our own personal orb. Now, for years, and I pointed this one time, a neighbor of ours came up here to uh, to exchange weapons. He was selling us some weapons, and he wanted to demonstrate how to use some of these weapons. So that was a nighttime experience, and we said, we have this star over there. It's like the brightest star in the sky. And he goes, oh, that's Venus. Well, it's not Venus. It moves. And it's in total contact. I think I've spoken about this before. So I say to the orb, I'm going to get back to the Kenny Rogers song. I say to the orb, could you show me that you're listening to me, and go up? And it goes up. And then I was with a friend, and the friend said, could you show us that you're listening, and go sideways? And it went sideways. This is our own personal orb. I like to think of it as our guardian protector, that we have this orb that comes out every night right at dusk, and just watches us and takes care of us and makes sure that we are. It could it be a spy satellite? It could be, but in my mind, it is our guardian. It is because it's been there since we got here, even before we figured out that it wasn't a planet, that it's a flying vessel of some kind. Back to the Kenny Rogers song. Dribbling, not a good thing, right? Drinking too fast. This is an old hippie shirt that I bought post being a hippie, like when I was still in the Hasidic community. I think I bought it for Purim, which is like a day you dress up, and you kind of dress up as what you really think you are. But I wanted to have these shirts because these are the old hippie shirts that that I really like. Okay, I'll get to the goods now. What's the song? And I got to thank Daniela for this, for playing. You played the Gambler the other night.
Well, whatever came on.
Whatever came on, she says. Like this, anything is random in the world, really. Oh, it just happened that way. Yeah. Okay, but here's the line, and this relates to what Eddie was saying about, isn't it weird? I forget the intro, and I don't want to get a copyright strike on YouTube, um, but the gambler was giving him all these pearls of wisdom by Don Schlitz. Yeah, I don't know Don Schlitz. How much would installing a well in your property cost? A lot, a lot. But if you want to come up here and you want to spend, well, maybe not a lot. We're at top of the mountain. I think if you were, we want somebody to come into the community and build a house in the canyon and help us grow trees there. We have many different things we want to do. One is growing trees. We talked about getting a cow so we could do cheese. We could sell cheese at a good price. But yeah, I mean, to give you a number on it, they quoted me to start. What did they originally? What was the original price?
45,000.
No, but the original price was like 20.
17,000.
17. They quoted me 17,000. It ended up being 40,000.
45.
45,000. Okay, and they needed a deposit of 8,000. So, but and then but I had to also plow the land down to a flat space because the guy wouldn't come. But you wouldn't want to be on top of the mountain. But if you came to join our community, we would, and you would have to select where you wanted to live. If you came now, you could have your choice. There's some high spots that are gorgeous where you can see the stars at night, and you could live in the community. You could build a house there, or you could just come and live in our space and camp with us for a while till you decide. But we want to develop the canyon with trees. Okay, but I'm getting away. Happy you're back. Watch your videos on YouTube, but you disappeared. Yeah, I've been canceled by YouTube something like 13 or 14 times. Those creepazoids that run YouTube. They don't like me criticizing the medical profession, apparently. How much would so? Yeah, The Gambler is a song. I feel pretty out there at night. I bet it's pretty. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I mean, you can see the Milky Way. You could see infinite number of stars. You can see the satellites. You can also see Kingman. You can see a town from here. That's one of the reasons I moved here. I wanted to see the stars at night, and it is a powerful connection. But here's the line in the song in The Gambler. Something like, the secret of surviving is understanding this point. Every hand's a loser and every hand's a winner. That explains. I could spend 2 hours talking about the Hasidus, the deep mysticism behind that idea. Every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. Meaning to me, you can decide that right now, this awakening sucks. It's horrible. It's confusing. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. Or you can decide this is the greatest opportunity of a lifetime, and you can thrive, and you can profit, and you can build like we're doing. We're building a community in the middle of the greatest transition in human history. When things, the banks are falling, everything, crypto's going up. That's a good thing. Every hand's a winner. Every hand's a winner, no matter where you're holding. Let's say you're living in a basement in San Francisco, and the homeless, or you can convert that thing into whatever you want. You can end up here. I mean, I told you that we had a nice friend from DoorDash, and we gave her a choice. You can live here for free. You just have to sell your car. And she was like, no, I can't sell. She had a Tesla, and she chose the car. She said, maybe I'll come back someday. But that's the choice you can make. You can live in the matrix. You can live quite happily. We don't want to. We're done with the matrix. We're done with groupthink. We want to do our own thing. Listen to what we did today. Yeah, so come up. Who's that? That's Poco Norudi. So come up, visit. Bring it. If you have a camper and a 4-wheel drive, you could make it up here. Yeah, you can make it up here, or you can make it. You can make it somewhat close. But yeah, you can come and visit us. We want to expand this community, but we're right now, we're very happy. The three of us are very contented living together. It's very peaceful and productive. So listen to what we did today. Listen, this is James. There was something else that came from James. Oh yeah, I know. This is the thing. Here's the thing. This is essential to understand. I am a very creative person. I come up with ideas. I feel that I have no thoughts in my head. They say you should meditate until you don't have. I don't think anything anymore. I don't have like worries and thoughts. It's gone. It's been burned away from me. So the things that come into my mind are absolutely 100% from the divine. I believe. But if you're with somebody else or two people who are in the same head, then the kinds of thinking that you can exchange is it's beyond understanding. So James came up with two really important thoughts. And this will not, you won't take this as important, but this is the important thoughts are in the physical world. So one, I'm now thinking, I am considering, I hurt my shoulder. So I'm I'm kind of recovering, but the X2O machine is really helping me. We were away from the X2O machine when we were traveling, and I'm going to get through the traveling in a minute. But James said, and I was thinking, okay, what am I going to, I really want to build walls that are not wood. Daniela does not want any kind of typical insulation. She doesn't want vapor barriers. She wants to live here completely without plastics. She will not even let me use a water container that has like a Teflon top. She won't let me use it. That's how.
Or have milk.
Or what?
Or have milk.
Or the milk. Anything that touches plastic. She's so okay. So anyway, that's so I'm thinking to myself, do I want to build with hempcrete? And the answer is absolutely not. Hempcrete would cost me hundreds of dollars. I'd have to get it shipped up here. But what I saw when Lawrence was here, Lawrence made some concrete. How do we make concrete up here? We buy what's called mortar or Portland cement, which is just pure cement without any rocks in it. We live in rocks and pebbles and sand. That's everything around us. So he just took a shovel from around here and stuck it into the Portland to make cement. So I thought to myself, why would I fill in my walls with anything but what's right here? But then I thought to myself, I really like the lightness of the hempcrete. So James said, why don't you mix some? I forget what he originally said. Oh, he said, because he's into leaves. He said, mix some leaves. I can't get rid of this shadow. Oh, yes, I can. He said, mix some leaves in your put some leaves in the concrete, which is a brilliant suggestion. But then I thought to myself, where am I going to get leaves? There are no leaves out here. This is a desert. So I thought to myself, why don't I mix straw? Water, of course, has to go in. Rammed earth. Yeah, but these are all fancy bullshit things. I can't deal with that. I have to do with something that comes to me that's practical, that's easy. So for me, living in the desert, living in sand and concrete, I know rammed earth and all that, but I just want something that's going to hold up forever. Okay, so the rammed earth is great. I'm sure it's great, but it takes a certain technique. I just want to mix some things and make mill walls. Maybe I'll do rammed earth. I don't know. I'm not putting it down. But so what I thought, put some straw in it, just like they did in Egypt. Remember how the Yidden cried because the Egyptians took away straw from their bricks? Use the straw to make it lighter, and then it'll go up a lot easier. It'll go up a lot faster, and it'll breathe more. So concrete with straw in it. That's my latest thought. The other thing was that James discovered. We were on an expedition because we thought we saw a cave on one of the mountainsides near us. So Danielle and I walked up there to find the cave. We didn't find the cave, but James found what we now call black gold, which is really good earth, really good soil for growing things. James says you can't get this at Home Depot. This is soil with all the nutrients that were taken out through advanced farming techniques over the years. So our soil is depleted, and the food you get, even the organic food, is probably from a farm that's been depleted. So we found a source of soil that is absolutely 100% full of nutrients and light as can be, that you can't get if you go to Home Depot and you buy a bag of organic potting soil or whatever. You're not going to get the kind of quality soil that we are getting, because we are having to experiment with different techniques in order to grow what we want to grow. But like what we discovered, we made some very nice raised beds, but what we discovered is that out here you have to line any kind of place where you're going to hold living things, whether it be plant or chickens, has to be lined with a hardwire mesh, because we have skunks, we have weasels, we have squirrels. They all dig underground. So everything, including the planting things, must have a barrier on the bottom. So we're having to redesign some of our raised planters to include that. But we're also changing. We've originally used a lot of soil from Home Depot, but now we're making our own soil. We're gathering our own soil. So James and I have figured out a way, using a screen, a hardwire mesh screen with the little mesh. We figured out a way to get earth in buckets, to get really rich soil and screen it out, screen all the pebbles off, and you have the richest soil on the planet. So that's what we're going to be growing our fruits and vegetables in, this kind of soil. This is the kind of innovation that you can get when there are two people who don't live in the worry and fear space that the matrix wants you to live in. If you're not thinking about your car payment, and you're not thinking, how the hell am I going to pay my mortgage this month, and am I going to get the raise, and then all this stuff, that's where the matrix, that's called the matrix. Once you leave that space and you don't have those stupid thoughts in your cranium, you can think with your heart. You can vibrate love. You're a frequency. We are frequencies. So that's where we're coming into. Glad you have it. I never left. I've been here the whole time. I've just been on different platforms. They tried to silence me a zillion times, a zillion different ways, especially on YouTube. But you're Rumble, yeah. Rumble's been very good and consistent for me. They just don't pay me. They give me like $100 a month. I'm like, I've thousands of videos on Rumble. And here's another thing. Okay, before I get into really the most important thing you should get from, in my opinion, from today's video is every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. And they go on to say, and the best thing you can hope is to die in your sleep. That's not part of my thinking. That's a whole nother discussion. But every situation that you are in, be it impossible, hard. I mean, this woman, our nice friend who came up here in a Tesla, she lives in her Tesla. She doesn't have a house. I mean, I could not do that. I'd rather live on the land and not have a as clean a place as a Tesla to sleep. And that's what we've done. And we're now completing the building, but I hurt my shoulder, so it's going to set us back a little bit, but not that much. So James and I went out and we collected another barrel full of this beautiful soil. So we're now working on sweet potatoes, and he's designed a very lightweight garden for growing like things like salad. We want to have a salad thing that, remember, our winter is only a couple of months. We maybe get 2 months of winter. It's not really winter like it is back east. I flew into Syracuse. Syracuse, they have 6 months of winter. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's the most gorgeous place I've ever seen. I didn't fly into Syracuse. I drove to Syracuse from Buffalo because I couldn't afford a ticket to go to Syracuse. Anyway. In the world, yeah, sheep compost is great, but I think this is better than just pure compost. I mean, we also have unlimited amount of cow manure, but this is from under trees where cows have been going to the bathroom for hundreds of years probably, and it's mixed in with the droppings from the leaves. Nice, but yeah, sheep comp. I mean, yeah, we want to get sheeps too. I'm not discounting it. So, but anyway, but these are the kinds of things that if you're living with somebody who's also on that level where they're not worried about their car payments or what are they going to do about next Monday if the thing doesn't come out, that's just matrix. It's total bullshit. Now, a lot of people are not ready to leave the matrix. And that's okay. That's okay. We don't have to concern ourselves. I tried to explain what's going on in terms of the Satanists running the world and the Matrix to a very nice young man on the airplane, and I just put him to sleep. He's not in a place where he can absorb the information that we have. It takes time to be able, because if all this just comes as a download, that's why I still, to this day, I do not 100% believe the EBS is coming. I don't think I just think you're not going to wake, if somebody's not awoken by now, will they go through I guess so. But I don't know. I think we are the EBS. We are the ones who are giving this information. And as evidence, and I advertise on Sundays that this is for newbies, as evidence, and this blows my mind. I have this friend Casbah, who's Quantum Bridge on YouTube. Casbah and Gary are the most brilliant guys, and they follow us religiously. They're very much like, he knows more about what I say than I do. And I'm going to get to the last thing soon. How long have I been on? Let's see, 9. It says 9:16, but that means 17, it's 6:16. My computer reset itself to New York time. Okay, so it's 6:16. How long have I been on? I don't know. Okay. So Casbus came to Arizona, and we
5:30.
5:30, and we came to Kingman. I mean, he came to Kingman, and we went for a walk. And I said, Casper, I'm putting out all these hundreds, thousands of videos that I put out on YouTube. I'm like, what's the point? He says, when people decide they want to wake up, it'll all be there. They won't have to. You won't have to reinvent the wheel. And I'm not tailoring my videos now to people who are just waking up, because if you're following this thought stream, you're already far awake. But listen to this. I mean, this just blows my mind. Um, there's a channel on X, and they took an old video of mine and edited it nicely. And I do miss the intro. I don't know if those of you who've been with me a while, there's an intro that's so sweet. I kind of want to, I almost want to recreate it, but I just don't have time. But I want you to hear what I was saying like 5 years ago. And this is really for newbies. This is for people who don't understand what's going on. But this is Caspa's point, is that Ellie, you don't have to worry. You know that you're wasting your time, that you've made all these videos and nothing, they're all gone. Well, the ones on YouTube are gone, but the ones on Rumble have been there forever. And my archive, I mean, my videos on Rumble go back, I don't know, 6, 7 years. Pretty much every video that I put on, certainly the live videos. And there was a time when I couldn't go on. I didn't know how to go on YouTube. I just had this one channel. I already have a strike against me on this channel. The people on YouTube are fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. What you want to think of them. The richest soil. Yeah, you probably do have the richest soil. Okay, water. Glad to have you back. Thank you. If EBS ever happens, most will not be able. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I'm just trying to. That's from Eddiesville. Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, I don't think they can handle it. That's what I'm telling you. I met this wonderful, nice guy, a very beautiful man from Egypt. We were having a very nice, very high level conversation about what he's doing, how he makes a living, and then I was explaining what I do here up in the mountains, how we're living off grid, and then I started going into the Great Awakening, and it was too much for him. Not that there's anything wrong with him. It was just over his ability to, and so I think the EBS would put a normie to sleep. They'd just be like, they can't handle it. I don't see it happening. I don't think it's relevant. I have the rich. Yeah. Okay. So that. All right. So okay. So let me just show you this. This was just reposted, not by me, by somebody else, and it's nice. Okay. Let's get. Here we go. Share. Okay. Before I go into this share, I want to share something that I think is very important. A lot of people that got vaxxed are getting sick, and they still don't want it. Yeah, they don't get it. They don't know what's happening to them. But they probably volunteered to come here to be innocent victims. We are star seeds. We are Neo. We are the ones who are showing the rest of the world how to escape the matrix, or what the matrix even is. People don't know that the matrix is, if you're thinking about your car payments, you're 100% in the matrix. That is the matrix. That's the simulation. Because your car payment, I don't know. I got my car got repoed. So, okay. So, yeah, okay. I'm just going to share this. I'm just going to say it. They're saying that the moon, maybe a lot of you have heard this, but the moon is a satellite, is an evil satellite that the white hats took over in 2020. And now it's not the source of evil that it was. Okay. This is a galactic experience that we're going through. All right. Let me go back to this post. Let's see. Go back to the post. Okay, we're sharing this. We're going to share this. Okay, so they're saying the moon is a hollow satellite. It is rather shocking. Okay, but I don't know. Do we need to go into this? It is rather shocking. It is a rather shocking claim, yet most everything we knew with we grew up with consists of manipulated lies. Dark force reptilians, archons, and greys who have controlled Earth since the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria. The journey to uncover the truth goes far deeper than we could ever imagine. The truth about the moon is no different. The moon is not a planet, but a hollow satellite created and controlled by dark forces eons ago to transmit low vibrational frequencies to Earth. The primary purpose was to keep the planet at a vibrational state low enough to hinder humanity's evolution. The reincarnation traps surrounding the Earth were also said to be powered by the moon, which has played a direct role in the process of mind control and manipulation. Since around 2020, benevolent galactic entities have reportedly taken over the moon, which is no longer used to broadcast negative frequencies. The moon is now said to serve as a base for higher dimensional extraterrestrial entities working towards the liberation of humanity and the ascension of the planet. Okay, pretty cool, right? Here, no one really wants to talk about it, but we are entitled to our opinion without judgment, right? It seems that we are living in a giant computer simulation in the late 20th century created to trap and control humanity using everyone as living batteries. They harvest our bad feelings. What if the world found out that chemotherapy and radiation were designed to kill cancer patients, and ivermectin, fenbendazole, apricot seeds, soursop tea, chloride dioxide, dandelion tea root, frequency therapy, and anti-neoplastons were cures for cancer? This is the Global Theater, the Alliance of Central Casting Operations. We've gone into that. When justice is done, it brings joy to the righteous, but terror to the evildoers. Trust the plan. Within our lifetime, we will see the world's lakes, oceans, rivers, and waterways restored to purity, as well as soil and farmland. Okay, no more toxic chemicals. Here's the post. Here it is. Okay, let me see if I can do this. 16. Okay, here we go. Stop sharing. Okay, I'm just going to play this for a few minutes. I want to share with you and Caspa, like we've been knowing what's going on for years. So here's evidence, and it's just good to be reminded of where we came from in terms of thought streams. Let's see. Health issues. These are the new science. We're coming into a new age. I'm going to explain what all this means. So let's rock. The banks are collapsing. I mean, this is obvious now. I mean, you can look at the interest rates. You can look at the fact that they're printing cash. This is not a cause for panic. I understand that it's going to be a difficult period moving forward, but this is basically kind of like a scripted movie. And I'm going to explain what that means. Please bear with me. Now, I'm not one of your mainstream economic advisors, though I've been studying the economy for several years now. I've been studying the themes, the movements behind the scene. Why is all this happening? I can't really go into a detailed explanation without losing you potentially. I'm really trying to appeal to normal viewers. Most of the people on my channel understand fully what is going on and what's taking place behind the scenes. But most of the world really has no clue as to what's going on, and they've accepted the mainstream narrative and it's all collapsing around them. I'm going to explain what this means, but The thing is that here that I want to reach people who aren't used to listening to this kind of a message. You're used to listening to experts. They talk about the interest rates. They talk about the borrowing of the high-tech firms, and all this has led to this collapse. We talk about 2008. We talk about bailing out the banks. We're wondering, why were all the people who were bank owners in this Signature Bank, in the Silicon Bank situation, why were they allowed to walk off with all this money? What's going on? So I'm going to give you a kind of a simple overview. What you're watching is a movie, okay? It's similar to, let's say, V for Vendetta, which I want to tell you honestly, I have not watched the whole thing, but I understand from the clips I've seen the kind of basic structure. We have been living in an artificial matrix. You know, you've seen the movie The Matrix. The Matrix, they say, was not a fiction movie. It was a real life narrative. It was a documentary, let's say. What is going on? So the banks are collapsing. Why are the banks collapsing? Because the money is meaningless. We went off the gold standard in the 1972, I believe, under Nixon. And the money has been allowed. This is basically a big created matrix illusion, okay, which you've been indoctrinated through schools, through the news media, through all kinds of information platforms, through agreements with other people. Other people are in the same boat and you agree with each other and you assume that this is the reality. The reality is the matrix is about to go down big time. So what does this mean? It means that you are watching a scripted movie. Who are the directors? The directors are essentially what we call the white hat military. They don't want you to understand what's really going on. And what's really going on behind the scenes is that we're coming into the Great Awakening. We're coming into the era of Mashiach, of the Messiah, and all at the end of the day is going to be good. But what has to happen for this to take place? Everyone has to wake up. They have to realize that everything they've learned, everything they see on the news, everything they understand to be true is a movie, a scripted movie. Now, the directors at this point are the white hat military. So the only way to defeat this vicious, underhanded, hidden enemy is with another hidden counterpart, and this is called the white hat military. So the banks are collapsing. This is part of a scripted movie. What is the idea? What is the theme behind all this? The theme behind all this is to get everyone to wake up, to see the matrix. Once you see the matrix, once you understand that everything you have taken to be reality, your job, your bank, your doctor, your teachers, all these things, pharmaceuticals, bankers, all this stuff is basically an illusion. It seems shocking and it seems unbelievable. You will get hurt if you don't wake up. You will be trapped in the matrix. You will never get out. They say you cannot get out of a jail if no one's on the outside. You need help from the outside. I'm offering this help to you. I'm offering to give you information that will help you survive the coming storm. And it is a storm, and it is going to be a colossal storm if you don't understand that this is basically an illusion to counter an illusion. So what does it mean? It means that there is a force of good called the White Hat Military, the Army of Virginia, say, the Space Force. The good guys are working to wake everyone up to the truth. Now, what's going to happen here is that we are eventually, and probably, let's hope, quickly, depending on how fast you wake up. If you wake up and you say, wow, this is an illusion, man. This isn't a real life. This isn't a real bank. These banks are stealing from us. The doctors are making us sick. The education is not really helping us. It is not educating us. It's an indoctrination scandal. Once you wake up and you see the matrix, you can start moving towards the promised land. What is the promised land? We will be moving soon into a quantum financial system, which will be backed by gold and silver. We will have a government that is 10% of the size it is now. We will have a completely different medical situation. Our food industry will be revolutionized. All transportation will be changed. Everything is about to go down. That's the big picture. But what it depends on is you waking up. It's all about you. You are the only one in the history of reality who can be you and vibrate with your frequency. You are a very important piece of the puzzle. And once you wake up and you see, wow, man, this doesn't make sense. How come the bankers got all their money? How come the rich people get bailed out and the poor people suffer? What is this all about? It's called the Matrix, okay? It's called the Deep State. It's called the Illuminati. It's called Moilech in the Bible. This is thousands of years old. All that has to happen for you to move into the promised land is for you to open your eyes and see that the banks are lying to you, the mainstream media is lying to you, and that behind the picture is a big picture. There is a quantum financial system that's already been in place. What happened essentially, and here's the one piece of information that I'm going to give, and again, this is a project in process. For you to educate yourself in terms of what's really going on will take time. But the main piece I want you to understand that the white hats, the good guys, made a brilliant move. Okay, and everything hinges upon this move, and everything hinges upon you waking up and seeing that this is a move and not a reality. When the 2020 selection process took place, the white hats decided it is better to let the people see what would happen if the bad guys who basically control of the narrative, if they are given control. This is an illusion, and you'll have to come to our live meetings. It'll take time for you to understand this. Okay, but the point is that this what the information that we have is not new. We're dealing with a satanic club, these elites that are hybridized. The more we go into this, the more we're learning how complex and how different it is from the fairy tales that make up Disney. Disney is apparently a pedophilic or a pedophile club. This is an organized campaign against children called Disney. Disney World is a place where they snatch up kids. I mean, they eat children. This is stuff that I didn't mention during that time period, but now we understand. And it goes far deeper. It goes into our manipulation of our DNA, manipulation of our religions, manipulation of our thought streams, of our consciousness, the use of what is called uh, uh, Germanic. Well, Germanic. I'm thinking the wrong. Right. The educational system. The Prussian model of education is an indoctrination system. It's not an education system. I was dealing with some people that are homeschooling their parents. And by the way, if anybody is interested in starting a video series designed for advanced homeschooling parents from our thought stream, let me know, because I'm looking for somebody to collaborate with, to because I was a teacher for 20 years. I would love to make videos with somebody who can really carry most of the load and work with me, and probably live up here to develop an educational thought stream. But the Prussian model is designed to indoctrinate, not educate. But in the future, and I was delighted to find out today that James didn't go to school. His grandfather, who raised him, didn't believe in that kind of education. That's why he's so brilliant and he thinks outside the box, and he's so helpful, and he knows stuff that nobody else knows. Okay, so with that said, I want to go. I just want to say that all the information is there. You just have to go for it. You meant to be a homeschool. I want to be a homeschool teacher. Well, if you really want to be a homeschool teacher, but you want to reach hundreds of thousands of children, uh, join me. We will make videos from up here. We will teach children how to think in the real world, and we'll make videos about it, and hundreds of thousands if not millions of parents can use our videos. If you're that kind of person and you understand, it's really if you have the grit to be able to stick it out. That's what success is. Every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, but if you don't have the grit, you will give up. But if you're the kind of person who can deal with failures, I met the person who was at the Airbnb that we stayed at. I said, I love your place. She took her father's farm and made it into this incredible Airbnb where you come in and and it's a farm. And she has weddings and people camp there. I said, this is such a beautiful place. And she says, it's only because I'm not I'm not adverse to failing. She says, I can fail and I'll pick up and I'll do something else. And that's what it takes to be successful. You have to have grit. So if you want to redesign the educational system with me and with other friends, and we'll have, but I can't, this is something that I would be like a main advisor, but I wouldn't be able to really, you would have to help, you would have to carry the load. But if you're interested in developing such a thing, come and live with us. Bring a camper probably, or you could, if you're used to living the way we do, we like to live in nature. So you could come and just make it. We do need help with cooking to some degree, maybe not. I don't know. We need a baker up here, but we need a lover, morals, kindness. Thank you. Yeah. So that's. I am well versed in many arenas in my post. And by the way, what are you speaking of? Can you contact for sure? What you're speaking of, we can. Yeah. So send me an email, or even better, send a message to Daniela. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Daniela, and join her what is it? HTTP her Instagram channel. We're trying to grow that Instagram channel if I can find it. Venmo, spiritual being. There's still more. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you could the best way to contact us is probably to contact Daniela and tell her you're interested in starting education. If you're interested in learning how to grow things in the desert, if you're interested in seeing the stars at night, if you're interested in communicating with our orb, if you're interested in any number of things, and this is what we want to communicate to parents: do not limit your children. Do not tell them, well, they have to learn. Yeah, that's okay, but they still have to learn English and math. We also believe that you need basic communication skills, although with the AI, it'll become less and less so, I believe. But how to measure a piece of wood, how do carpenters use wood? We're in a very creative place up here. So if you feel like you would fit in, and and if you're a sexy thing, man, and you want to hang with my man James, he's not adverse to having a partner. He's a wonderful, wonderful man, absolute genius, and transcendent, and very much in 5D. But if you're still working out your issues, it may not be a good thing. Anyway, okay, so that's that. You can contact me also on Kabbalah Guru. Daniela she goes through most of my mail, and if you want to come up and visit, you could come and visit for a few days, and that might be a good way to start this. Okay, one last thing I am grit. Yeah, man, that's what you need. Brandy. Okay, yeah, I got it, baby. I am well versed in many. Yeah, and that's what we want to teach parents. Like, let your kid learn. Your kid is a soul from another dimension. You don't know what your kid really is about. Yes, I'm an old soul, but I'm very lighthearted and intuitive. Let's create where we can. Yeah, a community fellowship and meaning. Yeah, that's my mission. Okay, so send us an email, come visit us, see if it works out, and we'll take it from there. We want to expand the community. It's not about, we're not going to charge you $125 a night or anything like that. If you have money and you want to contribute, that's great. If you don't, that's great too. You want to contribute in other ways. We're not in the matrix. We're out of the matrix. We thanks to Diane, we at least are paid up. We want to pay her back soon, but that's another story. And we'll get into that. All right. So with that said, I also want to encourage people to call Dr. Stacy and check out these products, man. I mean, the LifeWave product. We are using the X2O machine. The X2O machine hydrates you. It goes directly through your kidneys. So if you have any issues with kidneys, with bladder issues or anything like that, this X2O stuff is dynamite, phenomenal. It's unbelievable. I sleep through the night, that kind of thing. I didn't have my X2O for the last couple nights, and I found myself getting up and going to the bathroom at night. So it is, I can say, since I didn't have it, that it is very powerful. The patches, I have the patch on my back now because my back is in pain. I'm suffering from having it. I fell off the mountain and fell off a ladder and slid down 30 feet of mountainside on my back. And thank God I'm alive and all that and good, but I'm in pain. So I put the X39 patch, which resets, stimulates stem cell production on the back of my neck. Phenomenal technology. It's incredible to call Dr. Stacy directly, reach out to her email. She will get back to you. It may take a couple days, but you will be able to say, Dr. Stacy, I have this, this, and this. What do you recommend? She'll tell you exactly what you need to do. If you stick with it, I mean, I've stuck with it. I've had incredible transformations. Yes, the med beds are coming. I don't know when. Yes, QFS is coming. I don't know when. It would be alive for everyone saying now it's coming. It's for sure coming on September 15th, Plastic Clarity Act. I don't buy it. I don't buy any of these dates and bullshit. The fact of the matter is, if you want to wake up, you have to do it. You cannot wait to be saved. And I said in the thing I was talking about, Mashiach coming, I don't believe that anymore. I believe you are Neo. You are the one. If you're waiting to wake up, you're waiting till your XRP goes up, or you're waiting for the dinar, you're fucking fooling yourself, because the dinar is going to come and you're going to have all this money and you're still going to be the same idiot because you didn't use this time to wake the fuck up and produce and create and be a human being, and have the grit to get out of the matrix before you have to. Leave the matrix. You have a perfect opportunity to come up here, hang with us for a couple days, see what we're doing. It's, don't bring a lot of drugs and alcohol and guns. I mean, within reason. And if you're if you're a reptilian, I've met a lot of hybrids. We've had hybrids on our land. Well, we're just not into it. We're not into the aggressive nature of that kind of thinking. We're humans. We're interested in humanity. We're interested in creative. We're interested in gentleness. We're interested in it takes time. If you come up here, do not expect to get acclimated instantly. You may feel that, but it probably will take you a couple weeks if you're really serious to understand and vibe with where we're holding. Okay, so I went on and on about all kinds of different things. I wanted to mention, and I'm not going to go into great depth. I want to do all things holistic and energy fielded, verse in bladder. Right, you could do that here, but the thing is, I consider as a mystic that the greatest holiness is in the physical world. So we're not here to bliss out. I mean, we do bliss out. We do spend a lot of time in a sort of blissful state, but we work up here. We work our asses off. We're building a farm. This is This is going to be a self-sustaining farm where we are eating all organic food. Where like Daniela doesn't let us get away with anything. We're going to be adding more chickens. We're going to get goats eventually. We'll have sheep. We'll have cows up here. We're going to be doing a full throttled organic community. Hippie. It's really a hippie community in the wilderness. So if you think that appeals to you, come and join us. We'd love to have our brothers and sisters up here. You come up here. You could build a house. We'll help you. You could dig a well. A well is going to cost between, let's say, 20 and 40,000. But if you build a well in an area that we want to develop, there are 170 acres. Let's say you want to build a well in the canyon and help us grow a grove of fabulous fruit and nut trees. But we want to do it in a way so that the fruit and nut trees will be in a place where somebody is doing what we're doing, and they're with us, and they just happen to live right on the grove, so that if any critters come and try to, or anybody tries to hurt any of our trees, there'll be somebody there. Yeah, I mean, we love it here. No bad vices, no lizards allowed. Yeah, I've been taking idiot. I've been saying idiot a lot and kind of felt shameful until you said it's a farther Ellie. Say it louder for the people in the back. Okay, I don't know. All things holistic, energy fielded. Um, when you were on the East Coast, mirror the beach, right? Yeah, I did. I like the beach. We can do. Yeah, we don't even use we don't use Prado's soaps. We will make our own soap. Daniela only. I mean, Daniela. It if you have, let's say you've been canning in the regular canning things, Daniela won't. She won't be okay because she doesn't like the top. This is she's very, if you drink out of plastic containers, she will make you throw them away. We don't want people like that. We are developing a natural way. We're also going to be working with Lou to get some zeolite up here. But we have our own water supply. We want to add other wells to the property. We want to add a slew of fruit trees. We want to have greenhouses. We want to have people that have grit and just want to be in a community and love each other. And you want a tiny house for myself and cats. I can be a cook, right? A baker. Great. Yeah, we have cats. You can build a community of joy and abundance. Absolutely. So if you feel like that, man, come on up. We'll help you build a house. We'll build you a tiny house. But it's going to be the thing that, I just want to warn everybody. We're not building. Oh gosh, I wish I had uploaded. Can you get my cell phone? No, it would take too long. We are not building houses like regular houses. We are building houses that reflect the material we're able to afford, and B, a connection to the land. So we don't want to build square rectangular houses. Where is that bug? Is that bug that's coming from over the camera? Okay, so we're building very creative design places. A house for yourself and your cat. We will help you with that. But just know that we are open to, we don't really want manufactured houses on the property. We want to build our own. We know how to get windows cheap. We know how to get wood cheap. We work with a sawmill. We want people to design houses that are cutting edge, different. We want to make our own fireplaces. James knows how to do that. We want to use wood stoves. We're using technology of the land. The better we can do this. Yeah, masoners. Yeah, we don't. She. I don't want to get into it, but that's she doesn't like messing just because of the tops, and so we use a different kind of top. But we're learning to can. We're learning to make cheese. We're going to learn all these skills together. I can't say that we're a fully developed. We're fully developed in any way. This is a grand experiment, but we need people that are lighter on their feet, able to change, don't get their panties in a wad over, you said what, I almost got into a fight with somebody who came in to visit here, and I just said, you have to go. There's no room for this here. This is not the place to get. If you're that kind of person, you're so heated that you're going to start pushing me around. you don't belong here. That's not for us. And I told the guy to leave. And I will tell people to leave if you're not. We're here to be peaceful. Are we armed? Yes. Should you know how to use a gun? Well, if you don't know how, we didn't know when we came here. We'll teach you. You know, we don't believe in. We believe in being armed. We don't like to shoot animals. We have animals that give us a hard time, but we don't generally. I mean, I did shoot a rattlesnake, but generally that was because he was in the house. And with James here, next time I'm sure James would know how to deal with it. I was before James got here, but anyway. So that's it. But we are. I go to photo cloud formation. Yes, and I saw others on the boat. It's a large. Yeah, there are a lot of ships you can see in the sky, and the chemtrails seem to be going away. Um, yeah, the more the better. Yeah, I mean, we can do this. We want to have a community. This is, I am most comfortable, honestly, by myself, but I'm still by myself because people that come up here and are successful they don't have that kind of ego structure that would get in the way. They're just like you are, namaste. You are I love the other, the me in you, or the you and me. I mean, if you're on that level, man, come and hang with us, man. I mean, it's, you know, whatever. You can do whatever you want up here. Uh, we're okay with it. We need your help. We do divine protection. Yeah, I like to text. And we do, to be honest with you, we spend a lot of time on the internet. This is not a non-technical back to nature kind of community. We have Starlink up here. You have full access. You can communicate with anyone on the planet, and I assume this will grow as the technology shifts from this parasitic communication stream into ship behind it. I knew that it was divided. Yeah. Well, since 2020, they are everywhere in Vegas. I've been seeing them weekly for the past 5 years. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Divine protection. Yeah. So they're always above my house, right? So they're always above our property. They're right here with us, and they protect us. I'm not worried about it. But if you're having any kind of health issues, if you feel like you're getting old, call Dr. Stacy, order some patches, and try this X2O machine. It doesn't cost any more than a Kenyan machine, and it is so much better. It puts 6 frequencies of light directly into your body. I now that I have that I'm drinking X2O water, I'm sure my shoulder will heal in a matter of days, and I'll be able to get up there and finish the roof. And I was a very spiritual. Yeah, it's a very spiritual. It is. We went to New York, and it's very spiritual in New York. Okay, so I'm gonna make a quick disclosure because my guides have given me permission to do this, and then we'll call it a day. But if you're worried about when the EBS is coming, if you're spending time thinking about when is the XRP going to the moon, forget about it. It's just stupidity. Think about, what do I want to create? Who do I want to create it with? Where do I want to be? And how do I get there now? I'm not saying, well, I just have to wait 5 more years until I retire. I'm like, I don't want people like that. I don't want people that are, once I pay off my car, screw that. If you're there, you'll know it. You'll know what I'm talking about. You don't need, you will know what I'm talking about. And you'll say, hey man, I don't want to be alone. I want to be with other people who are already there in an enlightened community, and we'll rock. Do we have problems? Do we have personality issues? All the time, but we know how to deal with it. We don't, like I said, this guy came up and started pushing me around. I'm like, I'm 71 years old, man. I don't want to be pushed around by somebody who, that we're essentially taking in. You got to go. And I took him to town the next day. Animals are our friends, right? So we don't mess with the animals. We love animals. We love our chickens. We love our turkeys. We love our cats. We have 2 little attack cats. We don't not even want to shoot the skunk that sometimes breaks into our house. We just I'm late. Yeah. So anyway, Pleiadians, Andromedans, Alpha Centaurians, Sirians, they're all here, right? They're military as far as I can tell. The Galactic Federals worship with Trump. So don't look at them as yeah. We don't look at them as aliens. They're our friends. So yeah, we got that. So yeah. Anyway, yes. So yeah. So reach out to us. You can send me an email. You can reach out to, but reach out to Dr. Stacy for the X2O machine. Get an X2O machine. Drink water that is infused with 6 particles of light. You don't drink it. It's not a water filter. I mean, it filters your water completely, but it is not a water filter. You don't drink. You don't. We drink well water up here. We drink it right from the well. But when when Danielle and I want water that's going to cure anything that ails us and help us gain a better feeling of connection to the divine, we drink this X2O water, and we drink it all. I just drank a big glass, and I feel great. And I know that my body. I fell down the mountain. I fell off the mountain. My body's in a lot of pain, but I'm just like it. I know how to deal with it. And I'm not going to let myself get obsessed or feel like, okay, that's it, man. I didn't break anything, man. I'm fine. It just hurts a lot. But I want to get back. I want to finish the house soon. If you want to come up here, you might be more comfortable in a little camper for a while. And that way you'd have your own little shower place. We have a shower, but I don't know what, our food is we eat very simply. We don't eat until about noon. We do intermittent fasting. Actually, Daniela does eat breakfast. So whatever you want. But if you're coming up here and you need Gatorade and you need to smoke cigarettes, and don't come. We don't want you. You wouldn't feel comfortable here. If you're used to eating mainstream products, if you're used to living that way, but if you want to try a new way of life, come on up, man. And but try the X12 machine, man. I mean, it's well worth the money. You will find amazing transformations. I am finding amazing physical transformations. The holiness is in the physical. Okay, that's where Atmos, that's where God Himself is in creation. Yeah, one day a meal. Yeah, I mean that's great. We have one big meal a day. Actually, we have two. We eat fruit in the morning, fruit and yogurt, and then we eat some meat at night. And meat.
I eat all this.
She eats all day. Why does Daniela eat all day? And this is where I'm going to ask the community to support us. And I'm going to reveal something that we've been afraid to reveal because it's generally the kind of thing that you don't tell people about. But I'm going to tell about it anyway because I consulted with my guides and they said, no, just the opposite. If you want to manifest, tell the community, tell them to pray for us, tell them to help us in our journey on this next thing. So here's what I want to tell you is that when Daniela and I travel, it is because we are trying to make a child. We not trying. We are making children. We are going to a fertility clinic in Syracuse with Dr. Kiltz, who I highly recommend you find out about. Dr. Kiltz is amazing. And we want children. We want as many children as we can have. And will we adopt children? Yeah, probably once we have a few of our own, but we want to have a lot of children here. We want children to be educated by people who know what the fuck is going on. We want our children to learn how to do carpentry. We want our children to be fascinated by cooking. We want our children to be able to play without looking at the internet, and to be able to play on the internet, to learn on the internet and off the internet. We want people here who are, so we've been traveling to fell off the mountain. Yeah, it was not easy. I did fall off the mountain, but I'm fine. I slid down about 30 feet down an incline and on my back, and thank God I'm okay. I fell off a ladder. It was just a moment. It happened, but nothing. Every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. And the best thing that you can help for is to wake the fuck up and realize that life is beautiful, that the planet is beautiful. Come and live in an organic, you can come in, you can do this if you want to, if you have grit. It's not comfortable sometimes. It's hot. We don't get Vegas temperatures. We're up at 4,500 feet. We get we get up to about 100 degrees. It's hot in the summer during the day. It is cool most of the summer and winter. In my opinion, it's cool all year round. Daniela thinks it's too hot at night. The desert gets cold at night in my way of thinking. But I don't. I'm at an age where I don't want to deal with cold at all. I just don't like it. I'm done. I lived in New York all my life, most of my life, and I don't want winter. I want to be able to enjoy sunshine, unlimited sunshine. Okay, so we've been going. We are actively involved in making babies. So what I'm asking the community to do is, since we believe that everything is a manifestation, we heard in the past from my community when I was an Orthodox Yid, you don't tell anybody you're going to have a baby until you have a baby. Well, we want to manifest babies, so we want to tell everyone. And join us, thinking, send us blessings. Think, imagine what it's going to be like for Daniela and I to have a bunch of kids around up here. It's going to be wonderful because we're kids too. We've had a few years on us, but we are not. We are in a very childlike space. I was telling James that I'm seeing these things online. They're saying, like, did you feel lonely all your life? I felt lonely since I was 3 years old, since I was conscious. I became fully conscious. I've been feeling tremendous loneliness. And apparently, what is this? Apparently, that means that I'm from another place. I'm from another planet. So, I mean, I had family, I had a loving mother and father. Why would I feel this incredible pain of loneliness? It's because I'm not from here. Okay. And probably if you're on this channel, you're not from here either. But, James and I are sharing stories, and he felt that, it's just imagine being around people who understand you, who know what you're talking about 24/7. Do we go, like I said, is it a walk in the park? It is not. This is the desert. This is the Mojave Desert. We are going to make a go of it. We are going to expand. We are going to buy more properties. We are going to dig more wells. We are going to put in more fences for our animals. We are going to be fruitful and multiply in every way. So if you want to join us now, you can join us now. If you want to join us in 5 years, you can join us in 5 years. It's probably better if probably better to be one of the original creators, because you'll have more say in everything that goes down here. But I broadcast 6 days a week. We travel for fertility reasons. We travel to town to buy food. We're going to be doing less and less of this as we develop our own land. I'm 48 and I want kids. Yeah. So come and help us. We will figure out a way for you to have kids. I mean, why not? We're doing it. I'm a lot older than 48. And, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that, like, and we can share kids together with it. This is going to be it's going to be whatever we want it to be. But I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's already amazing. So James and I are now collecting dirt from around the neighborhood that's free, that's full of nutrients, where we'll be able to grow amazing plants. Um, you know. So anyway, yeah, if we expect people to meet here and love each other and build a house together and build and dig a well together. The well is, expensive, but if we have one well up here, we want to have a bunch of wells. We want to buy as much of the property around us as we can. There's some land back in there that's delicious and wonderful, and we don't want to make this into a city. We just want to make it into a place where people who are on a high level can hang and feel comfortable outside the matrix. We don't have police. We don't have alternate side of the street parking. We don't have products from the grocery store that have a long list of ingredients. Usually, most of the things we buy have like 3 ingredients if we have to buy it. But eventually, we'll be making our own. So anyway, yeah. Be grateful I caught the live because I know. But anyway, yeah. So I asked my guides, should we hold? We're not going to tell anyone until we're officially 6 months down the line. No, tell people now. We are manifesting children. We invite you to come and join us in this manifestation. If you want to manifest children for yourself, we're 100% behind you. We want you to do. We want to be fruitful and multiply. You want to come up here and have what it's like to live with people. Anyway, I didn't, but I wanted to just get that. We're not just traveling. We're not sightseeing. We do everything with a purpose. I don't know what the purpose of this bug is because I can't. It's not on. It must be. I don't know how that's even getting there. Oh, it's on the window. Anyway, yeah. So that's it, man. Let's do the tune together. I want to homeschool and help. Yeah. So if you want to start a homeschooling channel with me and you want to work on that, I would love to have you. I want to have a little team, a really active team that can put together videos real quick and help children. Well, I'd like to have music involved, and that's it. It's just that we can with a little bit of patience and heart and grit, we can change the world. And I want to have an educational component because I'm learning myself. I didn't know how to have chickens. Now I know it's really easy. Must leave a legacy. I don't care about a legacy so much, yet. But yeah, you want to leave a legacy, so we'll figure that out. So yeah, okay. I'm a vegetarian, but I don't judge others. That's fine. You can eat. You can be a successful vegetarian up here. I'm sure you could. James says you can live on sweet potatoes, and no. Daniela says no. Okay, but whatever. We are not vegetarians. We eat a variety of things. We eat milk and we eat meat.
I'm mostly keto carnivore.
She's keto carnivore. I don't care what you call it. If you can come up here and you want to be a vegetarian, that's fine. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's do the tune. Just contact Dr. Stacy, man. I'm just recommending this. I think it's a life changer. It's a life changer for me. Get the X2O machine. It's worth paying the money for. It infuses 6 wavelengths of light directly into your bloodstream. Remember that Dave Schmidt, the inventor, was hired by the Navy SEALs to figure out technologies to extend youth, to help you live longer, younger. So all these technologies, all these patches are brilliant. They don't put anything in your body. They simply reflect your own frequency back into your body and activate certain biological chemical processes. And I highly recommend you reach out and talk to Dr. Stacy. You'll be talking to her for 2 minutes, but it'll be the best 2 minutes you've ever spent because she's a wonder. Okay, let's go to the tune. Let's see if we can do this.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moved into paradise. I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Flounder sounds great, man. Anton, I'd be delighted. Yeah, so it's all good. The sun is set. We're gonna go. We're eating bratwurst tonight. Bratwurst with onions and on pasta. We're eating Italian pasta, and yeah, all is good, man. We have nice fruit for. We do this thing called we have banana mushies, which is like mushed up banana with a little yogurt and some nuts and stuff. But hopefully soon we'll have, if you come and you help us and we grow this community, we can afford to buy a bunch of trees, or James will clone the trees even. We can clone a bunch of trees and we can grow a whole hundreds of fruit and nut trees and goats and cows and everything, and have cheese. We could do everything up here. We'll never have to go to town again, and we can broadcast. We're not like, it's like we're going back to the Stone Age. And as far as my shirts go, people say yes, because I have no money. I haven't bought a new shirt in a million ages, so I'm being creative about, like, this is a shirt I bought 20, 30 years ago, and it's like, but it's really fitting. It's like a guru shirt. Not, I don't really consider myself a guru, but as things go on, man, I mean, maybe I do have a little bit of that in me. I don't know. I certainly hung out with enough gurus and rabbis to maybe get a little bit rubbed off. Anyway, so just keep moving. Don't look back. We're coming into the promised land. Nothing can stop what's coming. We'll be back, God willing, the rest of the week, I hope. Let's see, is there anything startling you need to know? I don't think so. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great wherever you're holding. Remember, every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. And the best thing you can hope for is to wake the fuck up. Okay? Completely. The more you wake up, the better it is. You open your eyes even wider. It's like, holy shit, man, I never noticed that group of rocks on that mountainside over there. I never noticed. We were going to Home Depot to buy our dirt. Now we get it out here on the land in much better quality than we could ever find. We screen it ourselves. Anyway, it's all good. But up here, you really learn to be resourceful. And my opinion is that we do everything better up here, even though we don't have fancy contractors, fancy windows, fancy anything, even fancy wood. We get plain old wood that nobody else wants, and we make it into something that's incredible. Tomorrow I'll show you pictures of the house. I finally got a decent picture. So anyway, yeah, great shoe, and thanks, Anton, and keep up the good fishing. I don't know, do flounder run in the summer? I know in New York that, oh yeah, they fluke, summer fluke. So use the force. You are the force. Don't be afraid. Don't get trapped in the matrix. The car payments and the worries and all that stuff. Just and the boxes. Just and the judgment. Try not to judge. Don't you meet somebody? I mean, we were on a plane yesterday and two people were getting into like a racial fight. I was like, what is that about? But I knew enough. I said to myself, you know what, Ellie? You don't have to get involved in this. They're having an argument, and they got to work something out. So that's for them. It's not for me to solve every problem. May source be with you. May you realize that you are a creative source, and the more you get into your own creativity and production and children, and whatever that looks like, your legacy. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a legacy. I think having kids is the best there is. I personally, when I have a child, like I had a child in my last thing, and I stuck with him until he moved out of the house. I was in a very bad relationship, and I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm staying here until he's ready to go. And he left, and then I left. I did 20 years. And I learned from it. Every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. And the best thing you can hope for is to wake the fuck up. All right, so we'll talk to you soon. May the force be with you. May source be with you. And let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.